Hello, and welcome to the Learn English Fast podcast. I'm your host, Eli. Thank you so much for listening or watching me today. As usual, you can find the transcript and some vocab words down below in the description. So please go take a look and do your best as you learn the English language. All right, so today I want to talk about cultural surprises in different cultures. As many of you know, I have traveled to many different countries in the world. I've been to Taiwan, I've been to China, I've been to Nepal, India, Japan, Sri Lanka, Sweden, Romania, a bunch of different places, right? And the cultures there are so different from the culture that we have in America. So I just wanted to share some interesting stories and some interesting situations that I experienced in these different places. The first place I want to talk about, the cultural surprise, was in Japan, here in Japan. I live in Japan right now. And the biggest cultural surprise, for me at least, was on the train. The train. When I was on the train for the first time, I was so surprised at how quiet it was. It was just so quiet. And I felt so awkward if I would make a sound. Or I remember my first time on a train in Japan, I really needed to sneeze. I needed to sneeze so badly. But I'm like, no, I don't want people to look at me. I don't want people to stare at me. So I tried to control my nose to have no sneeze come out. But I failed. I sneezed, but no one looked at me. So it was good. Yeah, but I was very surprised. And people are so polite on the train as well. If there's so many people, and if someone's wearing a backpack, they will put the backpack to the front of their body. So that way, someone who's walking behind them won't hit them or hit their backpack. And it's just really thinking about other people, not thinking about yourself, which I thought was really surprising and just very refreshing to see. Because sometimes in America, people can be a little bit too strong, like pushing that, they want to get what they want to do what they want. But here in Japan, people always think about others. How do others see them? How do others think of them? Which I think is something beautiful in this culture. The next surprise, cultural surprise, that I experienced was in China. I lived in the city of Chengdu, and in Chengdu, it's known and it's very famous for the spicy food. Maybe you've heard of Sichuan tofu, like very spicy. And my friend took me to a restaurant, and it was my first time eating at a Chinese restaurant there in Chengdu. And they put a dish in front of me. Eh? It looks very interesting. What kind of food can this be? I touch it, and it's a little bit wobbly. Digga, 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 digga. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It's very wiggly. And then I taste it. Not bad. I eat some more. It's a little bit spicy, but it has good flavor. I asked my Chinese friend, so, what is this? It's pretty good. And she tells me, Eli, that is pig brain. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? I'm eating the brain of a pig? But it was actually very good. So if you ever go to China, I recommend eat some pig brain. It will make you smarter. Or not. I don't really know. The next big cultural surprise I experienced is when I lived in India. I'm sure you are very surprised by this, Eli. Something unique in India? Yes. In India, I experienced so many things. One of the big cultural things I learned when I was there was eating food with your right hand, not your left, your right hand. I never really ate food with my hand that much before, and it took me a long time to get used to grabbing the food. And sometimes the food was so hot, I wouldn't be able to grab it. But after about like a month or 2 months, my hand became very strong. and I was able to grab hot rice and hot curry and eat it with no problem. The secret to eating the curry with your hands is you want to imagine your hand is like a shovel or like a truck, and you grab it like this and you use your thumb to push it into your mouth. Grab it up. I don't know if you can see. Something like that. And so if you go to India, please try to eat some food with your hands. Because I know in some cultures it's like, it's so dirty. But I think it was very, very fun and a very eye-opening experience. So please give it a shot. Sometimes, this is a secret, but if I'm by myself and I don't want to use a fork or a spoon, I still use my hand. When I was in America, I would still use my hand as well for eating different foods because I'm very lazy. I don't want to think about washing a spoon. So by myself, I would look for my family, then eat by myself. Yeah, so those are some cultural surprises, in different countries that I experienced. What are some cultural surprises for you? Have you ever traveled to another country? And did what they do there surprise you? Please write them down in the comments below. I really want to know what you did. And as always, continue to practice your English to the best that you can do. Keep learning. The vocabulary list and we call it the transcript is down below in the description. So if you want to practice more, please take a look at those. And thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching. Do your best. I will see you later.